everybody, Messinator808 here, and welcome back to another video where today I am playing some more Doki Doki Literature Club. And let's get right back into talking to Monika. So we already did that dialogue because that's how I ended my last thing. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. Whoa, what the What the I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I ended up saying something strange. And please, stop me if I'm talking too much. I really don't mind. I really don't think you need to worry. Oof. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It is literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book I had and took it out of my bag. Oh, I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Oof. Learn to read! Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book, and I start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulders as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking in her own book. I glance over. It looks as if she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Can it not do that? Like, I want to be able to read that. Maybe it's because I have the text speed all the way up. So, hopefully... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I just mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, oh jeez, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess it kind of makes it difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, it's one of these now. It's one of these pictures. Okay. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides her thumb under it and flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held out even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Oh, I just realized that her, eye is actually, like, looking at us. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Oh, yeah, and now she's smiling. Okay, so yeah, okay. It's subtle differences, but I can see it. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue to read. Now her eye is at the book, and now her face is, well, flat, We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it in my own volition. We continue to read we continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate change. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Oh, now, okay. Oh no. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant, something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Is this book gonna foreshadow what happened? I swear to God, if this book fucking foreshadows. Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the room. What on earth was that about? Mez? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes. It's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. No! God, you wait! She's part of the club. She's the vice president. You wait for the vice president. Monika! I swear to God. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. I want Yuri. Okay, Natsuki first. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Holy! Was that supposed to happen? What the We're only 8 minutes in to this so far, and her eyes already just... Her mind wasn't blown or anything, I don't think... Holy... Oh my God. Mez, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you to improve, but you're better off just trying again. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Well, anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. I think I might enjoy it. I don't know why I'm going for the Yuri path second now. I probably should have gone for Natsuki's second, but I guess, you know, like, I probably also, I guess no matter what, it's like, Sayori will die first. I don't know. I think maybe later I'll, like, go with, like do an unrecorded playthrough and check, go for somebody else first. So yeah. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can... jeez, hiccups. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. And there is no more. So, click outside. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest! I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! Like, I like when it's easy to read but hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. The other nice thing is that about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I really didn't care how old anyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I wouldn't take that away from her. That's a nice guy. I'm nice. I'm nice. Hi, Mez! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, even if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, hey, here's the thing that we could do better, Monika. Bring Sayori back! Alright, back to this. I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Mez. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Mez! I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That's why that way it can always count when I put some effort That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imaginary and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. I don't really mean like that's a bad thing though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head. That's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction. So don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking lonely for a while. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, I guess we started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monika. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's 'cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Alright, this is a long one. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling? Playing tricks on my ears? I don't know what that says. I can't really read cursive that well. I mean, not cursive, but like special, you know, like writing that looks like it's, you know, fancy writing. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. It's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. Jeez, who's this about? So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not really sure if I know how to put it. I guess you can say I've kind of had an epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that. Because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other? Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Kind of like how I was doing with Sayori and Yuri. Or at least Sayori at this point. I was fixated on her so much, I didn't make any progress. So, she was still hurt, no matter what. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark puddle of ink. So move your hand, go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, and then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off again, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think it's mostly a noticeable thing I recognize in new writers that they try to make their style deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds a train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and it sounds like she's an expert. Unfortunately, with me reading, it sounds like she's not an expert, because I still stammer. A lot. So, of course, it's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing herself. Is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm apologizing to you guys. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to end this video here. I hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that way you guys can get notified whenever I upload. That being said, this is the end of the video. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!